Penn State Sports Business Conference is unlike any single event at Penn State. Like, our expectation is here. We're not like ordinary at all. People are gonna come tomorrow and they're gonna wonder what happened in this room.
The idea was just like, how can we change the way Penn State students are going to be educated about sports business? How can we give students the opportunity to get in front of sports business professionals, learn about the trends in the industry, and then also give professionals a chance to come back to the university? I started at Penn State in 2014. I feel like I always had an entrepreneurial bug, and right before I went to Penn State, I actually ran a Spartan race. When I finished running it, I was really inspired by Spartan race. At the beginning of my freshman year, I started setting up a bunch of meetings with people to bring Spartan race to Penn State. We actually had a date set for the first Spartan race at a university. A couple months before it was supposed to happen, they ended up backing out. But I learned so much in that process. It just started spinning my wheels as a student at Penn State. Like, what else can I do? Two of my friends were starting an entertainment company, and they had an idea to bring Malone to Penn State my junior year. Leading up to the show, we were involved from every aspect to sponsorship, sales, security, artist management, venue, staffing. Seeing 3,000 people show up to that concert was so eye-opening to me. That made me want to do events more. It made me want to create an experience for people. And I was a brand ambassador for NFL Sunday Ticket, and I worked with John Marcus, who is the co-founder of the Penn State Sports Business Conference, one of my best friends, and we sold that to college students. I wanted to work in sports so badly.
It's been an amazing opportunity, unbelievable week here at the Super Bowl. Hopefully it's first of many.
When I would leave the internship, I kept thinking, when everyone goes back to their school, what can I do while I'm there? And I was networking a lot through Penn State, and I was having some really interesting conversations with some really successful people. There was a common thread I was noticing. Penn State did so much for me. I loved the experience, but I haven't been back in a while. Or I love connecting with Penn State students, but I haven't had the opportunity, I haven't had the platform.
It's fantastic being back. I'm usually here just during football weekends like most people, and to come when it's quiet to enjoy the serenity of State College and almost feel like a student again is fantastic.
I was wondering, why can't we bring 50 to 100 of these professionals, bring them all together at once? One of my entrepreneurship professors, Peter Whalen, one of the things he challenged me to do was to create an affirmation. And he said, write down what you're trying to accomplish in one sentence and write it down 15 times every single day. And my affirmation was, I, Alex Scheinman, will host a successful sports business conference.
We got this thing together. He's an amazing young man. He's the co-founder and the president, Alex Scheinman.
Thank you all for being here today and joining us for the first annual Penn State Sports Business Conference. Seeing you all here today has been a vision that started last December in a conference room in the business building.
Every single thing that we envisioned came to fruition. I felt like we made a statement in year one. We had Coach Franklin, Penn State football coach, come, which is kind of a last minute thing, and Coach came in and it was one of the best presentations I've ever seen. I remember being extremely emotional on those 2 days because I wrote down months before Coach Franklin spoke, I have this note in my phone that says, here's where we are, here's how many tickets we sold, here's how many days we're out, and it literally says, if you get Coach Franklin, that is going to be the moment where everyone there notices this program, the Penn State Sports Business Conference, is not a joke. We're gonna bring the best of the best speakers. For the team too, to see all their work come to fruition, that was pretty amazing. A school like Penn State, building something from scratch is not very easy.
3 days out, baby.
We're a student-run conference, and the team had, I think it's 25 students, led by 2 co-presidents, Maeve Hennigan and Will Fuhr.
With all the work we've put in over the last 12 months plus, it just comes down to the execution at this point, and at that point, it's like a game plan. If you game plan well, the execution comes easy.
I think if there's one line to describe the feeling that both Will and I are feeling tonight in this room at 10:30 p.m. the night before the conference would be,
We didn't come this far to only come this far. Sure, we know exactly where we're starting Monday night and where we're finishing.
Maeve and Will implemented a lot of new aspects to the conference that we didn't have in year one. For example, The professionals all got to have a tour of the Penn State football facility, which is called the Lash Building, which led into seeing football practice. You know, not many people get to watch Penn State football practice. Feeling Sunday night before the conference is something that you can't get in a normal job.
You're going to experience something you've never experienced before. Putting yourself out of your comfort zone, pushing yourself, like wanting to quit, wanting to just stop. You're going to realize why you didn't tomorrow and Tuesday.
We were in the business building for 10 hours. I couldn't tell you if it was snowing or raining or there was a tornado outside.
I'm just happy to be here. I'm thankful that we've had such a good team, that we have great leadership with Maeve and Will, and that we have 400 people traveling to Penn State tomorrow.
So much is on the line.
This last moment is like the crucial part.
It's not the rise of the
John Marcus, the co-founder, we couldn't have done it without him.
And year 2 of the Penn State Sports Business Conference is tomorrow. How you feeling about it?
I feel great. We have been in this nice room in the business building since about noon today. We got a lot done. You know, tomorrow's the day. We sent the team off right, pumped everyone up. I think that everyone is really excited, and it's just it's nerves. It's a whole year's worth of work. It's a lot of money and sponsors and tickets that have been sold, and I'm just excited to see everyone up at Beaver Stadium tomorrow. It's going to be really exciting to see it all come together.
Another person that I think kind of got thrown into a fire this weekend is Jake.
Twin brother, his name is Jake, and Jake also went to Penn State, and we've been close since, literally day one. I knew Jake would add just such a valuable element that no other student could, and a lot of that was behind the scenes work. So he made our conference website, which this year was so instrumental in showcasing what we built in year 1 to what we were preparing for in year 2.
I think it's really amazing that we've been able to work together on such a insane project, this thing that's just grown so big, but also at its core still be brothers and still be best friends and have each other. Alex is a brilliant person, and he really just makes his ideas come to life.
I love Jake to death. He's my brother, but he's my best friend. And I think our relationship's really evolved through this conference, because I know that if I go to Jake and I ask him to help with something, that he's going to help.
I think at this point, this week has been beyond difficult and physically and mentally demanding. It's great to just sit here in an empty room and know that tomorrow is the day and it's happening and it's game time.
All right, we're going to get started. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the 2019 Penn State Sports Business Conference presented by AT&T.
Go ahead and introduce Brian Westbrook, a Walter Payton Award winner, was drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles in 2002.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much for having me here. It's great to see so many eager people that are willing to learn, wanting to learn more about what's going on, especially in the business world. And as you apply what you guys have learned over the last 4 or 5, 10 years here to the real world, it's important. Thanks so much for having me. I really do appreciate it.
Last year, when we had Coach Franklin, that was the guy. Okay, we get Coach Franklin, we elevate our conference. The minute the conference ended, I was really starting to think about getting Saquon Barkley to speak in year 2. The conference begins on Tuesday, and we're running at 100 miles an hour. And I got a text from my friend, and she says, I have a Saquon update for you. She was talking to Saquon, and he actually expressed interest in doing the talk at the conference. We know he's gonna come, we don't know when. And around 12 o'clock, I got a text from his agent saying he's in. I was like, holy shit, Saquon's coming to the conference.
We have a very special surprise for all of you. Someone that has made a tremendous impact in the Penn State community, but also outside the community. And that person is the Offensive Rookie of the Year.
In college, came in with my recruiting class, and then I've been teammates with Trace and Amani and all those guys throughout the whole year. And then you go NFL, and then your first week, your locker mate can get cut and released just like that. And they have families to provide for, so you have to take a different approach and a business approach.
After Saquon spoke, there was someone that I was really excited about having at the conference this year. That person is the vice president for intercollegiate athletics, Sandy Barber. If we were going to do this and be successful, we needed Sandy to be involved, and we needed Sandy to also be invested. She's been such a huge part in helping us succeed.
If I leave with you anything this afternoon, I hope it's that you should be very, very intentional with your words and with your message.
So last year, the conference was March 15th and 16th, and my dad was able to be there, and my dad's been like, you know, one of like the rocks in my life that I look up to him. He's always there for me. He's done everything he can just to support me. I mean, really both my parents have. And when my dad was at the conference last year, I remember just like really seeing how proud he was. Me and my friends, we went and we were celebrating like the whole day. And around 4:30, 5 o'clock on the day after year one of the conference, my dad called my brother and told him that our grandpa Joey wasn't doing so well. And I remember being like woken up to this like news that like the next morning my brother and I had to take an Uber to State College Airport, State College to Philly, Philly to Boston, like immediately. When I heard that, like I was like almost thrown into like a shock, because I went from like being at this high level of emotion where I wanted to celebrate and enjoy what I've been working for literally like years. There was so much going through my head, and then like I was preparing to like lose someone so important in my life. Like a couple days later, my grandpa passed away, and it was like I remember my dad telling me that he got to go tell my grandpa Joey about the conference and tell him about everything my brother and I did, and like I got to go tell him too. And that was like so meaningful for me, because my grandpa Joey always taught me like bring people together, have a positive impact on people, and he loves sports, and sports has been a huge part of my family. Grandpa was buried in like a baseball jersey. The funeral service, like as weird as this sounds, it was set up like 9 innings. Like everyone got a program. Sports is just like embedded in my family. Flash forward a year, we're planning the conference. The day was Tuesday, March 19th, and my grandpa passed away March 19th, 2018. This means something more to me now. And when I go to Penn State and when I'm there, like I'm going to pour my heart into this, because I know that's what he would have wanted. I know he would have been so proud that not only did this happen in year one, but this is continuing to happen. Like he would have loved to see the Penn State football program, and he would have loved to see everyone come together through sports. And he always talked about like making a positive impact, and that's what we're doing at Penn State. And to be able to honor him at Penn State on stage with my brother there, my dad there, like I felt his energy there too. And it was amazing.
It's been about a week and a half. Monday will be 2 weeks fully since the conference. Now, when I come back to Penn State, I mean, it's really different. Like I've been able to see an impact that we're having. And when I'll go back to the school, I'll talk to students that know about the conference, that want to learn more about the conference, that want to learn more about sports business. You know, everyone who is involved should celebrate year two, should take it in, reflect on it, but like I think it's time to focus on year three. It's time to start working towards year three, year four, and year five.
Grandpa Joey, he always talked to me about legacy and leaving a legacy, and to continue to build on this legacy for him and for everyone else, because I want to make a difference. I want to make an impact, and the Penn State Sports Business Conference has really enabled me to have this opportunity, and I'm going to take advantage of it, and I'm never going to take it for granted.